Итак, всем привет, с вами Джойстик. Сегодня мы продолжаем играть в Hogwarts Legacy. Немножечко я пробежался по дополнительным квестам, заданиям. И сейчас мы можем приступить уже к основным сюжетным заданиям. Ну так, чисто пробежался, посмотреть, освоиться. Теперь я готов уже выполнять сюжетные задания. Чуть-чуть приоделся. Особо сильно ничего не поменялось. Так что,
Hello, Natty. How are you?
погнали.
I hope you've recovered from our rather eventful trip to Hogsmeade.
I am well, but I have been worried about you, my friend. With Ranrock and Rookwood and Harlow after you?
I'm all right at the moment.
We did not speak about it at the time, but I am hoping now you might tell me why they were looking for you.
Так, у меня есть вещь, которая им
They
нужна.
want something that Professor Fig and I found at Gringotts.
When were you at Gringotts?
Just before we came to Hogwarts. In fact, it's why I was late to the sorting ceremony. A portkey brought us there after the dragon attacked our carriage.
What on earth?
There's one more thing. It's a bit odd, if I'm honest. Professor Fig says I have a rare connection to a powerful form of ancient magic.
Is that the magic you used fighting the trolls in Hogsmeade?
I think so. I'm still learning, but I can see traces of it, and I've cast magic I can't otherwise explain. I know that's a lot to absorb.
It is. And I will have more questions. For now, it is safe to say that Rookwood and Harlow are a threat to both of us, to all of us, which is why I wanted to speak to you. I realized something that day in Hogsmeade. You displayed such courage fighting that troll, and Serona wasn't intimidated one bit by Rookwood and Harlow. Both of you have inspired me to take a stand of my own.
What sort of stand?
Men like Rookwood and Harlow are the reason my mother and I left Matabeleland. I am not going to sit by and watch them destroy my new home.
Это отрадно слышать.
Good. Rookwood and Harlow are a dangerous pair. And the fact that they're working with Ranrock, well,
All the more reason they must be stopped. Rumor has it that Theophilus Harlow runs Rookwood's day-to-day operations. Taking him down would cripple Rookwood's entire enterprise.
that may be true. But shouldn't Officer Singer handle someone like Harlow?
I spoke with her. She was polite, but perhaps understandably would not discuss details with a student. I overheard some of Rookwood's lot talking about a massive poaching operation that Harlow is planning. I was thinking that we could investigate a bit, try to get the evidence that Officer Singer needs.
All right. But how?
I am going to watch and listen, find out precisely what Harlow is up to. I shall reach out when I know more. In the meantime, remember, I am here if you need me.
Thank you, Natty.
Be on your guard.
Итак, куда нам теперь надо направляться? Сейчас посмотрим, что у нас там. Вот она, задание Нати. Так, нет, отказаться не хочу. Потом надо будет в травологию сходить.
What's going on here?
Направляемся дальше. Поговорили с Натей, немножечко узнали про нее, что она думает и что она узнала. Сейчас узнаем,
I've no idea
что
who it is you think I
происходит.
might have seen. I've been busy with my research. I do not have time to.
Victor Rookwood don't give a doxy's nip back your time. Oi! Speak of the devil. Mr. Rookwood would like a word with you.
A student, you can't be
Enough out of you.
Leave her alone.
stupefied.
Сейчас начнется
Leviosa! Accio!
наши умения драться.
Expelliarmus!
А, да. Я выучил новое заклинание Expelliarmus.
I'll watch the light go out of your eyes.
Меня висело в дополнительных заданиях пройти, ну, небольшие задания одного из преподавателей. Дополнительные задания, вот. После чего она научила меня экспеллярмусу.
I'm not going anywhere with you.
Надо будет еще взаимодействовать с окружением, чтобы быстро с ними разбираться. Или как-то... А, вот камень нашел. Все. Очень быстро и легко.
What on earth just happened? I've never been accosted in such a manner, and so close to Hogwarts.
Are you all right?
I am, thanks in no small part to your excellent defensive skills. Care to tell me why 2 Ashwinders were ready to dispatch me to get to you?
Ashwinders?
Victor Rookwood's thieves and extortionists, his little cronies. They seemed quite keen on you.
It's a long story, but thank you for your help.
Well, you've avoided them for the moment. Priya warned me things were getting dangerous. Best get moving on my research before they return.
You're a researcher?
Nora Treadwell at your service, historian and archaeologist specializing in Merlin's work and life.
Это просто невероятно.
Merlin? Of the legend of King Arthur?
The very same. Merlin attended Hogwarts, you know, and I'm studying some curious fixtures he left here centuries ago.
Fixtures?
These vine-covered pillars, dozens of them, all around the area. I've taken to calling them the Trials of Merlin. I believe he created them as a diversion for his fellow Slytherins. He was terribly fond of puzzles and enigmas.
Видимо, сейчас нас научат разгадывать эти колонны.
I can see why you're so interested in Merlin. I'd be keen to know more about the trials.
Well then, I'll let you in on a little secret. No one has yet managed to figure out how they work. But I believe I have just unlocked a crucial clue. I suspect that Mallowsweet is an important component in getting the trials to work.
Mallowsweet?
Versatile herb. Merlin repeatedly mentioned it in his writings. I had just arrived to test my theory when I was so rudely interrupted. You see, each swirl in Merlin's writing has a symbol in the center. That started me thinking, what if...
The Mallowsweet is meant to be placed at the center of the symbols.
Precisely. Would you care to do the honors? We can see what comes of our little hypothesis. I brought a trunk chock full of Mallowsweet with me. It's just over there by my tent.
Так, звучало это как-то сложно и в то же время просто.
This trunk?
Yes, take plenty, even if you already have some.
Сейчас
I have the
посмотрим.
Mallowsweet.
Lovely. Now, notice the vines on these pillars here, as well as a stone swell on the ground. Each trial has these features. Place the Mallowsweet on the swell, and we'll see what happens.
Так, нужно бросить... А, вот на эту спираль. Ну-ка.
My word! Did you see that? The vines
А теперь
disappeared.
что?
What should I do now?
This is uncharted.
Incendio.
Merlin's beard.
О, так я и знал, что их
Make the
надо будет
pyre
поджигать. Но они не поджигались до этого. Все, великолепно.
Beard, how beautiful! What a day! I can hardly believe it.
Revelio. I take it we can call that a success?
We can indeed. However, I now have even more questions. How does it work? I must review my notes. I may have missed something.
Are all of the trials like this one?
Oh, not precisely. Well, I think each has those telltale vines and the swirl on the ground. You should feel free to solve them as you come across them. I believe I have what I need to continue my research. My guess is that each will also require mallow sweet, which you can find in Hogsmeade should you need more. I really must be off. Such a pleasure to meet you. And do be careful out here. Now, I've got what I needed. I shall return to the safety of my notes and books.
Угу. Ну это как не совсем был основной сюжет, но это было очень интересно узнать разгадку новой загадки. А, вот это она не забрала. Теперь нам нужно в зал травника, или как он там? А, в травологию. Что ж, направляемся сейчас в Хогвартс и перемещаемся вот сюда, я думаю. Так, теперь вот с этого места можем отправляться. Опа, сундук, новые очки. Кстати. В скором времени нас должны будут научить и дальнейшим загадкам, которые я до сих пор не понимаю, как решать здесь в Хогвартс. Но пока что это только самое начало. Наконец-то я сейчас пооткрываю здесь телепорты. И я там вижу какой-то предмет для взаимодействия. А нет, показалось. О, сундук. Вот, который я не знаю, как открыть. Пока не понятно. Ну ладно, потом научат. А хотя, стоп. У него есть глаз. А что если я сделаю так? Да? Оказывается, все просто. Тут даже помощь чья-то не нужна. Все довольно логично. Отправляемся на новый урок.
Good morning, Professor Garlick.
How wonderful it is to see you again, Lenora dear. Oh, here. You'll need these for today's class. A little treat for your auntie. Ah, hello. Class, please welcome the newest rose in our garden. We do look forward to growing together. How thrilling it is to have everyone back together again. This year will be filled with enchantment and excitement, but the most important thing cultivated in herbology is knowledge. The prudent herbologist is no more afraid of the venomous tentacular than the bouncing bulb. Now then, today we will be acquainting ourselves with the mellifluous tuber known as the mandrake root. Accio. Let's see if we can't make our fibrous friends a bit more comfortable, shall we? First, let's protect our ears. Now, everyone, grip their mandrake by the tendrils and give it a firm tug. soil should envelop the root like a warm, dirty blanket, putting the mandrake right at ease. Reparo! I'm very sorry about that. Yours was a bit mature, I'm afraid. All right then, off you go. Splendid work, everyone. Now, for our next task, we'll be planting dittany at our potting tables.
Как-то быстро прошел урок. А то, что это была мандрагора, это было очень прикольно. Опять же таки, в фильме то же самое вот начиналось с вот этих вот кричащих растений. Смотрим, что мы можем забрать. Может, потом будем что-то варить. Ладно, поговорим с преподавателем.
Yes, Professor.
Firstly, well done with your mandrake. They can be rather difficult to get a grasp of.
Actually, I enjoyed it. I couldn't help but catch your enthusiasm.
How kind of you. It seems you're already taking to herbology like a mandrake to fresh soil. Now, as I mentioned, next we'll be planting dittany. Let us find you some seeds.
I already have some, Professor. Picked them up in Hogsmeade.
You visited the Magic Neep. Wonderful! A prepared student is bound to bloom. I've arranged for you to have your own potting table here in the classroom. Wasn't easy to spare one on such late notice. Plant the seeds there now, and you can return to harvest them later. Even with soil, sunlight, and a bit of magic, they will take time to grow.
Значит, мы сможем выращивать свои растения, которые потом мы сможем использовать для зелий и, допустим, в каких-то испытаниях. Ну,
Pardon me, Professor. What am I supposed to do with the dittany seeds?
Your part in all this floral alchemy is simple. Take the seeds to your potting table, plant them, and then wait for harvest time.
Да, вот сладкая мальва, мандрагора, спорыш, водоросли. Тут даже написано, для чего это все требуется. Так, бадьян. Время выращивания 10 минут. Хорошо. К концу серии уже все будет готово.
Well done! Once it can be harvested, your dittany will be ready to use in Wiggenweld potion. I'll let Professor Sharp tell you about that. Now, what say we branch out? Introduce you to a different sort of flora, the Chinese chomping cabbage. You'll find that some plants are better suited to uses outside of a cauldron. The cabbages do get testy without something to chew. Fortunately, I have a dummy for them to gnaw on. Here, dear, and let them have a good chomping.
Yes, Professor.
They're in the other greenhouse. It's just at the end of the footbridge leading out of this room. Your classmate, Mr. Pruitt, has kindly offered to accompany you. Come back and see me when you're finished. Oh, and mind your fingers. They do bite.
Так, направляемся.
Hello.
Ага.
Saw you on your way to Hogsmeade the other day.
Дальше.
Nice to meet you. I'm Leander. I'll be showing nice
Потом с
work in
тобой
defense against
поговорим.
the dark arts, by the way.
Excuse me?
Your duel with Sebastian.
Сейчас у нас сюжетное задание,
Thinks he's
и по
really
пути
good.
мы будем
But you outright slaughtered him.
собирать
Brilliant.
растения.
Oh.
Возможно, они пригодятся.
Here we are, home of the Chinese chomping cabbage. Go on, grab a few of those cabbages. Now, see that dummy?
Ага,
Just
китайская
toss the cabbages
живущая
at it.
капсула. Вот
They'll do
она.
the rest.
Она будет как снаряды работать, как я понял. Так, вот она. И как ее кидать? Ага,
Look at that.
нормально,
They can get
нормально.
their mouths on.
А ее потом
Mum planted some in her
подобрать
garden last
или
year to keep the gnomes out.
уничтожить?
It'd save her the de-gnoming. They left the honking daffodils in tatters. Vicious little bastards, aren't they? My kind of plants. Not like stupid booba tubers and bouncing bulbs. The kind of plants that just have your back in a fight. Not saying you can't go it alone, but, well, imagine that wasn't a dummy.
I suppose they could prove useful outside of the greenhouse. Nothing wrong with a bit of backup, even if it is from a cabbage.
It's chaos out there. Trolls in Hogsmeade and such. You can't be above throwing a cruciferous vegetable if necessary. Dogweed and deathcap has more of them, if you're keen. Other plants too. Ones your parents wouldn't plant in the garden. You get the idea. Anyway, we probably ought to head back to class. Take your time. I'll see you back in class.
Так, ну, выучили новый способ побеждать противников. И пора отправляться снова в эту же часть
And was that helpful reminder as to why we should always wear our dragonhide gloves?
I tended to the Chinese chomping cabbages, Professor.
Remarkable plants, aren't they? I hope they weren't too much trouble. Oh, don't see any bite marks or missing digits. And good, as you do seem to be quite green-fingered. Oh, I'm eager to see your skill in the soil continue to blossom.
Magical plants have so much to offer. I'm eager to learn more.
I'm glad. Herbology is a bounteous subject. Tend to your garden, and it will tend to you. Huh. Well, I suppose that's everything. Do come by for a chat sometime. I so enjoy checking in with my new students.
Так, тут мы совсем закончили. Теперь остался главный вопрос. Освободился ли профессор Фиг? Потому что здесь у меня незаконченное задание. Скорее всего, мне нужно что-то выполнить из доп. Заданий, чтобы открыть какой-то сюжетный дальше. А, нет. Или... Да. Вот это желтое уже горит что-то. А, да, занятие по зельеварению. Все, скорее всего, после этого мы уже сможем отправиться к профессору Фигу. Фух.
I've always said that travel broadens the mind.
Так, ну вниз надо. Теперь сюда. Сейчас надо пометить задание сначала. У меня немного другое задание сейчас. Поэтому меня не в ту сторону будет вести. Ну, после того, что мы поняли насчет выращивания растений, теперь зельеварение будет легче понять. Где доставать различные вида. Как оно? Приправы и прочее. Травы для зелий.
Potions is one of the most challenging and hazardous subjects taught at this school. As fifth years, you will be required to reach new heights of both discipline and intellect. You will begin this term by brewing a Wigan-Weld potion. Mr. Takar, can you tell us why this particular potion might come in handy?
Yes, Professor Sharp. The Wigan-Weld potion can be used to sterilize and even heal a variety of injuries.
It can heal some injuries, but not all. Points for Ravenclaw. Before today's class is completed, each of you will have brewed a Wigan-Weld potion of your own. You never know when you might need it. Please begin. Use a strong, even motion when crushing your ingredients. Please be meticulous when adding powder to your potions. One errant sneeze could be disastrous.
Очень интересная механика. Прям очень нравится мне такая механика взаимодействия. Как с растениями, так и с зельеварением.
I see most of you have not forgotten how to stir. Not an easy potion to brew. Well done. And from what I hear of your recent exploits in Hogsmeade, you'd also do well to practice brewing the defensive Edurus potion. Professor Weasley had you acquire the recipe from J. Pippins, correct?
Yes, sir.
Good. For the moment, you can find the ingredients you need in my office. But in the future, you'll be expected to provide your own ingredients. Some can be harvested from the plants you grow in your herbology class, and rarer ones can be purchased. Others, however, may be harder to obtain, and will require you to be a bit more resourceful. Come and see me when you've finished brewing, and we'll see if it was skill or luck the first time around.
Так, теперь мы можем забрать у него...
Did I hear Professor Sharp say that you have permission to go into his office?
He did say that. He wants me to get more ingredients to brew another potion.
Brilliant! You, my friend, have been presented with an extraordinary opportunity. You remember me, don't you? Gareth Weasley.
Ah, yes. We met in the common room.
Listen, anyone with a troll-sized brain can brew an Edurus potion. I'm working on something that's certain to be spectacular. I'm just missing one tiny last ingredient that will add that extra spark.
I suspect that's where I come in.
You're as clever as I'd hoped. I simply need a single Fwooper feather. As you'll already be in Sharp's office with his permission, perhaps you could grab it for me.
I'll get you the Fwooper feather, as long as you're certain Sharp won't miss it.
I assure you he won't. Fwooper feathers aren't that valuable. Wait until you see what I'm brewing. Hurry back to me when you have the feather.
Я постараюсь соблюдать какие-то дружеские отношения со всеми учениками, потому что мало ли что может пригодиться. Какая может пригодиться польза от них. Так, ну мы это самое, берем все, что можно, и отправляемся варить свой собственный зелье. Но сперва отдадим пирог.
Here's the Fwooper feather you wanted.
Brilliant! Thank you! This is going to take a moment to brew. You should get back to brewing your Edurus potion, and I'll tell you when this concoction's finished.
Надеюсь, ты не взорвешь здесь ничего. Так, зелье Эдурус. Вперед. Так, здесь оно будет твориться без каких-либо взаимодействий. Ну, я могу пока походить, поговорить с кем-то, но само сварится, да? О! Так я и знал.
Well done, Gareth.
What now, Mr. Weasley?
Sorry, Professor.
That'll be points from Gryffindor. Again. Mr. Weasley did not do this on his own. His accomplice will answer to me as well.
I brewed an Edurus potion as you asked, Professor.
I'm surprised you had the time. You seemed rather busy helping Mr. Weasley brew chaos.
I'm sorry, Professor. I was merely trying to help a friend.
Taking responsibility for one's actions does go a long way with me. I shall assume that you've learnt a lesson. As for the work you did today at your own cauldron, I will say you've done well. I confess I was skeptical, given the advanced nature of this class and the fact you're a new student.
I'm glad I was able to meet your expectations.
A rare occurrence. And you do well to remember that you're not a potions master quite yet. In addition to having a solid grasp of how to combine various ingredients, you should gain an understanding of the ingredients themselves. pay particular attention in herbology. The plants you nurture there are often essential to the potions you brew here. Now, I recommend that you find a safe location in which to practice brewing. You cannot leave a hot cauldron simply anywhere. That'll be all.
Он сказал,
I
что
think
мы
each of us has had enough excitement for one day. Class
понесем
is dismissed.
наказание какое-то. Посмотрим. Так, зельеварение мы закончили. Какой будет следующий урок? Интересно. Так, это заклинание усиливает защиту выпившего, покрывая его прочной каменной кожей. Отлично. Запомним. Так. Не в ту вкладку зашел. Расскажите профессору Фигу о зале картографии. Так, значит, у нас сейчас следующее задание должно появиться. Оно как-то долго появляется, все. Так. Направляемся. Так, я почему-то пропустил эту связь, когда мы должны поговорить с безголовым Ником. Почему к нему? Опа. Стоять. Давай зажжем. Ага. И для чего-то можно крутить. Тут меняются циферки. Так, ну предположим, тут у нас 1. Тут у нас 4. Нет, да? Так. Если мы сделаем тут 4. А тут 2. Ха. Следующий у нас должен быть 1 и 3. Так. 1 и 3. Он не крутится. Ну, мы зажжем. Все. Открыли. Опа, это какой-то проход вниз. Как интересно. Это тайная комната? Мы тут встретимся с Василиском? Как интересно. Ого, какой огромный сундук. Там какая-то комната есть. Интересно, интересно. Там дальше ничего нет. О, время вышло на серию. Тогда мы отсюда выбираемся. Дойдем до безголового Ника и закончим серию. Там мы сохранимся. Так. Ого, какая шляпа огромная. Шляпа Вилли Вонки. Это тоже зажигается? Нет. Но то может хотя бы взаимодействовать. А вот нет. Кстати, пока я проходил дополнительные задания, я выяснил, что можно открывать вот такие шкафы за счет ключей, которые летают где-то неподалеку. И делается это вот так. В нужный момент нужно ударить. Мы получаем монету, и потом у нас в комнате будет стоять сундук.
Hey, it's me, Gareth.
You there? Yes, you. I
Всё.
wonder if you might come.
На этом мы заканчиваем. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайки. Всем удачи, всем пока.